G'day to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's Good Friday, and I'm up here at Port Stephens, Anna Bay to be more accurate, and the particular location that I'm in today is Berrubi Point, which is the northernmost point of Stockton Beach. And Stockton Beach is that beach in front of us there, and to the right of it is a magnificent sand dune that goes for about 30 kilometers. So if you walked from here and you just kept on going south, you'd go all the way down to Newcastle. So it's absolutely a wonderful place. As you can see, it's peaceful, it's absolutely natural, and a true blessing to have a place like this within 2.5 hours of the city of Sydney. A place that you can duck out to, come to, and just get away from all of your troubles, from all of your stresses, escape the rat race, and be one with nature and one with this wonderful country that we're blessed to live in. What I would like to do today is continue along my normal path, continue the tradition of Jim's 5am Club, where I'll do yet another book summary. I've been able to amass a book library, a book summary library of over 1,500 vlogs, 1,500 video episodes, which extract and leverage OPE, other people's experiences, in the form of book summaries and in the form of personal experiences. So I'm sitting here on this wonderful headland, and today I'm going to go through a book which is entitled That Sounds Fun, by an author named Annie F. Downs. We've got a couple of lads here who are preparing to go out for a surf. It looks quite nice today for a surf, with some lovely sets coming in. But I'm also mindful of the fact that this waterway here is also said to be the breeding ground for great white sharks, with lots of sharks using this part of the coastline as their breeding ground. So it just never ceases to amaze me how courageous these surfers are, day in, day out. Wherever you are in Australia, there are thousands and thousands of surfers out on waves, in open water, in the ocean, and risking their lives, but also having the time of their lives. Because at the end of the day, joy and fun in life comes by making a decision to live in the here and now, a decision to make the most, to risk, and to trust yourself, and to trust God's providence. Because at the end of the day, we are all called to enjoy God's creation. It was all done for our benefit. And whilst we benefit from it, we should always also never forget to praise God and to be grateful for the wonderful things that we have available to us. So this book, as you can probably understand, is all about happiness and how to make the most and leverage the happy times in your life, and how to seek happiness and how to make the most of what we've got. So the author here kicks off the book summary with a profound statement where she says that happiness is found in little things, but nobody seems to bother to map out what the small things are. So it's important. It's a profound sort of statement, what the author is saying, because what they're saying is that happiness is found not in the big things, not in the complex things, but in the simple, small things that we have available to us in the present moment. And it's up to each and every one of us to identify, to find the things that make us happy, and to do more of those things so that we can enjoy our time whilst we are alive, whilst we are blessed with health and all the freedom of all of our senses. So the author's call to action here is that we need to search for, find and practice these small things as often as we can, to make the most of our Easter breaks, to make the most of our school holiday breaks, to make the most of the time that we have with our families, our friends, our loved ones, and to make the most of this beautiful environment, this wonderful country that we have at our disposal. And the author also goes on to acknowledge and to once again identify a basic concept that we are all different in many ways, but we are all similar in many ways as well. And we are wired to look for purpose and happiness. Whilst the means vary, the goals of many are the same. And as you can see, we've got lots and lots of people taking this path down and making their way to the shoreline to make the most of this full tide. Full tide today is at 9:30. And I guess full tide is a time when the surf is also at its best, as we can witness out there by the many surfers who are enjoying this particular moment. So the author goes on to say that authentic happiness and fun don't necessarily imply fancy vacations, but can also mean just a simple treat, because fun is a feeling. It's a feeling. You can't manufacture that feeling. You can only experience that feeling. And that feeling is where we become engaged, where we become one with our five senses and make the most and receive the most from those experiences so that we can enjoy the moment. And the goal, as the author suggests here, is we need to have authentic happiness and fun, and not to be over the top, not to expect, not to seek too much, else we miss out on the simple things which, according to this author, are the most enjoyable, the most fulfilling and the most nurturing. And as we said, fun is a feeling, and old joy, nostalgia, and being in that moment is also something that we can repeat over and over again once we've experienced it. And whilst it may not be as fun as what it is when we first experience it, as we get older and we have more time to reflect, we can sometimes fall into the trap of making those old moments, those old fun times, that old joy, that nostalgia, bigger and better than what it actually really was once we first experienced it. But the author once again encourages us, pushes us to do more of those small things that give us joy, and to understand that happiness, this is a really profound point, to understand that happiness does not come from future events. Now, you can't achieve happiness by living the future. You basically need to live the present, to enjoy the present, in order to embrace and make the most of your happiness. So once again, another call to action from this author is not to fall into the trap of spending too much of your time thinking and worrying about your future, because your future is uncertain. Now, we can plan for many, many things, but it doesn't necessarily mean that because we plan for these things, that these things are going to materialize and to bring us happiness. We've got to find happiness right here, right now, in this moment, by being present, and not to spend too much time, as we mentioned before, thinking about our past, because if you dwell too much on the past, you end up becoming depressed, is a key message that comes from a lot of psychologists. You become depressed by thinking too much of your past, just like you become too anxious when you spend too much time thinking and trying to live your future. So fun starts right here, right now. So stop trying to plant seeds for future joy that are too far away, too far ahead, and may never materialize. As I said before, some people get sucked into the thought of planning their future. And for some people, this act of planning actually takes away. G'day, mate.
Sorry, just save myself.
Yeah, good on. Yeah, good, mate. Takes away from the joy of the moment, because they actually think and they talk themselves into believing that all of the things that they are doing have been actually achieved. But in many ways, a lot of those things are just a figment of their imaginations. So what the author here tells us and reminds us of is that we need to start harvesting, where possible, the seeds of happiness that are growing around us and are abundant in many ways. Now, if you open your eyes and look, you'll find beauty, you'll find glory in every moment, in every place, in every face that you come across. So we need to start harvesting those seeds rather than planting seeds that may not become fruitful for years to come, or may not ever become fruitful. They may be like the old fig tree, all leaves, all grandeur, but no fruit. So don't delay your happiness is the key message that comes from this author. Don't fall into the trap of delaying your happiness for some imagined future state that may never materialize. Stop postponing happiness. Stop living in your imagination and start living now, because life is a real thing, and your now, your eternal now, is a real thing as well, that needs to be embraced, needs to be leveraged, and needs to be enjoyed, not only with yourself and for yourself, but also for your loved ones, your family, your community, and all of those around you. Once again, the call to action from this author is to make the most of the here and now, and not to wait for that mythical tomorrow, which may never come and may just be a figment of your wild imagination. So the author also goes on to say that having fun is no excuse for denying your true feelings, and to understand that hardship makes us stronger. There are going to be times where we're going to be hurt. There are going to be times where we're going to be lonely. There are going to be times that we're going to struggle with making, the most of our lives and having productive experiences. But we need to embrace those moments and to know that those hardships are just another part of living, and there are lessons in those hardships that we need to tap into, that we need to understand, and we need to use in order to help us celebrate and make those good times even better, and to not fall prey to living like a Pollyanna and being fake in our fun, being fake in our smiling, because what it does is, if you're pretending to be happy when you're not happy, it actually makes you sadder. So the author here basically encourages us to be vulnerable with our feelings, to be true with our feelings, and to feel at ease and to acknowledge our feelings, and not to try and be happy all the time, but to know that happiness ebbs and flows, just like these waves and the tides ebb and flow. So too our day, our feelings ebb and flow, and we need to embrace the good times and the bad times, whilst trying to exacerbate and to maximize our good times, and where possible to minimize our bad times through good friendships, through family, and through the love of others and the love of ourselves. The author here encourages us, as I mentioned, to acknowledge our true feelings and not to try and deny them, and to deepen wherever possible our connection with God, and to find peace. The most important thing I'm starting to realize as I'm getting older is the key to life is to find peace, and to be at peace with the world around you, with those in your family, and to be at peace with yourself, and not to be overly complicated in the things that you search for and the things that you want in your life. The author also mentions here the importance of having friendships, having hobbies, having diversions, having a social circle. And another really, really important point is that you need to have space in your life and not to be overbooked. I really love this point. To have space in your life, to welcome events, to welcome people, to welcome joy, and not to be constantly busy, like we all tend to be here in Australia. You need to clear out your clutter, the clutter from your mind, the clutter from your house, the clutter from your social circle, so you can make room for other people, you can make room for yourself, so that you're not overwhelmed you're not overbooked, and that you can look forward to spending more time and adventuring and having more time to do the things that spontaneously pop up from time to time without feeling guilty that you've got an appointment to meet somebody or to spend some time with somebody, to leave a gap in your diary, in your life, to act as a vacuum to attract other people and other times and other opportunities. So we need to be available for life is the final message from this author, and to allow life to touch you, not to be standoffish, not to be pig-headed, and to be available, I guess, is the key message. To be available for life, to be available for God, and to show gratitude for the things that come your way, and to find the goodness, to find the positive, to be an optimist where possible in everything that surrounds us. Anyway, take care everybody on this Good Friday, this Roman Catholic and Protestant Good Friday, and I hope you have a wonderful and fulfilling Easter Sunday. And to my Greek Orthodox friends who celebrate Easter a week later, for all of us to enter Holy Week and to experience the love of God with all our being. Yassas, take care from this magnificent location up here on the north coast of New South Wales. We're 2.5 hours from Sydney. We're just north of Newcastle, and we're at a place called Ruby Point, which is at the northernmost end of Stockton Beach, and it's a beautiful, pristine, natural environment which brings out the best in all of us. Where else in the world can you go and see such rugged, raw, majestic beauty? Australia is a country with so much variable beauty, from desert to ocean to mountains, you name it, we've got it, and we've got it in spades. We've got it everywhere you look. Take care, yassas, and bye for now. And I look forward to going for a swim today as well. Cheers, bye.